Welcome to the TreeTips tutorial. Over the next few minutes, you'll become well versed in how to get the most out of Ancestral Quest's built-in research tool, TreeTips. Have you ever wished that your family tree software would just do your genealogy for you? While TreeTips won't do it all for you, it can show you many of the records that you need to extend your family lines or verify information of which you are unsure. It can also point you to the shared research of others, which may save you hundreds of hours of research. Let me add an acknowledgement that Ancestral Quest doesn't do all of this by itself. Thousands of volunteers, professionals, and investors have spent enormous time and resources to make this data available in such companies as MyHeritage, Family Search, Find My Past, Ancestry.com, and others. TreeTips is a new technology that simply coordinates the benefits of these services in Ancestral Quest to make them available at your fingertips as you record your family tree. As you enter family data into Ancestral Quest can work in the background looking for hints from these various services. As hints are found, Ancestral Quest will show you hint icons to alert you that hints are available, and you can then look at the genealogical records and compiled trees to learn more and continue to expand your tree. So let's get started. Let me first show you hints from MyHeritage, a service based in Israel with over 6 billion searchable records. Simply go to the View menu and make sure that the check mark is set next to the MyHeritage hints. As long as you have indicated that you want to view MyHeritage hints, Ancestral Quest will search for hints for the people you see on this family view or on the pedigree view as you go about your normal tasks working in Ancestral Quest. As hints are found, you will see MyHeritage icons pop up next to the names of the individuals on the screen. Simply place your mouse cursor over an icon. Don't click yet. An information window will pop up showing you some details about how many records were matched, shown as record matches, and how many compiled genealogies were matched, shown as smart matches. Each of these will have a rating of 1 to 5 stars, indicating how strong of a match was found. Below the match counts, you will often see a list of facts for which MyHeritage can provide new or additional information. Initially, all of the matches will be pending. As you review the matches, you will be able to confirm that the match belongs to your ancestor or reject the match as not belonging to your ancestor. Later, as you review this box again for your ancestor, you'll notice the pending counts will go down and the confirmed counts will go up. To see the matches, simply click either on the MyHeritage icon or anywhere in the hint info box. This will activate your default browser and show you the hints for your ancestor. As you find information you'd like to copy from the MyHeritage pages into your Ancestral Quest file, let me recommend that you adjust your screen so you can see both Ancestral Quest and your browser at the same time. Let me resize my browser to fill roughly half of the screen, and resize Ancestral Quest to fill roughly the other half of the screen. Note that the tutorial limits me as to the screen sizes I can use. On your monitors, you will probably have a higher resolution, so you can see more of both Ancestral Quest and your browser as you do this. At this point, you can browse through the matched records and trees to see if any look interesting to you. This 1900 census looks interesting, so let me review it. Let me scroll down to the image and zoom in. Sure enough, there is the family I'm looking at, with Alma Findley as the head of house, his wife Sarah Ann, and their children. I could take the time now to add these additional children from this censored record into my database, then confirm that this record was a match. I may want to come back to this image again later to glean more information. As I look at the bottom of this page, I can now see additional records I may want to review. I could now click the back button on my browser to get back to the list of hints and continue browsing for other hints that I find interesting. If I find a hint that seems to be for a different person, I can click the reject icon to tell MyHeritage that this isn't a good match. With a little practice, you'll become proficient at using the MyHeritage hints. Let me turn off the MyHeritage hints now And let's take a look at the Find My Past hints. Find My Past is a service based in England with nearly 3 billion searchable records. Again, we want to go to the View menu, then check the Find My Past hints. I could keep all of the hints active, but for this tutorial I just want to focus on one hint type at a time. Just like with MyHeritage hints, Ancestral Quest will now start searching for hints from the Find My Past service and display Find My Past icons when hints are found. Again, as hints are found, simply hover your mouse over the Find My Past icons to view a hint info box. Here you'll see counts for pending, confirmed, and rejected hints. Simply click on the Find My Past icon or hint info box to view the hints on the Find My Past site. Here you can review the records, copy information from Find My Past into your family file, then confirm or reject hints that are displayed. If your experience is like mine, you'll find that Find My Past may give you different hints than MyHeritage. Each service has some of the same records to search through, and each service has unique records that you can only find using their service. As you try to turn over every stone looking for clues about your ancestors, you will want to use each service to find out what they have to offer. Now let's take a quick look at the Family Search hints. Family Search is a service based in Utah with over 5 billion searchable records. So let's turn off the Find My Past hints. Family Search hints are a little different than the MyHeritage or Find My Past hints in a couple of areas. First, the hints of MyHeritage or Find My Past mostly require that you have a subscription to use the hints, whereas hints of Family Search are mostly free. For some records, Family Search may send you to another site to view the record, and you may have to pay a fee to that other site, but most records, in my experience, are free on Family Search. Second, to get Family Search records, you have to take a couple of extra steps. I'll show you these steps in a minute. Third, when MyHeritage or Find My Past provides you with hints, these hints are just for you. You can confirm or reject them as you review them. However, with Family Search, the hints are for all users of Family Search simultaneously. Only the first person to see a pending hint will see it as pending. Once that person confirms or rejects the hint, other users will either see the hint as already confirmed, or they may not see it at all because it was rejected. A little later, I'll give some important tips to getting the most out of Family Search hints. For now, I'll cover the basics. In order to use Family Search hints, you have to make sure that the Ancestral Quest to Family Search connection is activated. Do this by going to the Tools menu, dropping down to Preferences, and make sure this box for Connect with Family Search is checked. Next, you have to be logged into Family Search. Let's go to the Family Search menu and select Login. If you already have a Family Search account, enter your ID and password here. If you don't yet have a Family Search account, go to FamilySearch.org to create a free account, then enter your ID and password here. If you want Ancestral Quest to automatically sign you in the future, check these boxes, so whenever Family Search needs to search for hints, it won't have to ask you to log in. Now let's turn on the Family Search hints by going to the View menu. With an active connection between Family Search and Ancestral Quest, you'll see these little tree icons by the names of all deceased individuals in your file. If the icon is gray, it means that you have not yet linked that record with the corresponding record in Family Search. If the icon is a dark blue, it means that you've already established a link between this record and the corresponding record in Family Search. Family Search provides hints for records in its family tree. You will only get hints for records in your database that are linked to corresponding records in Family Search family tree. You'll see here that many of the records have links so that hints can be examined. A couple of these children are not yet linked. As a result, even if Family Search has hints for these people, Ancestral Quest can't retrieve the hints until the records are linked. Ancestral Quest can help you link records one at a time, or a family at a time, or by selecting larger groups. During the matching process, if you find a corresponding record already exists on Family Search, then you simply link to that record and Ancestral Quest can then show you the hints for that person. If you find that Family Search does not yet have a copy of your records, then Ancestral Quest will allow you to click a button to upload your records to Family Search. Ancestral Quest will link your record with the newly created record on Family Search, and Family Search will start looking for hints for that record. Depending on how quickly they find hints, you might find hints for a newly added record fairly quickly, or it may take a few hours. When you hover your mouse over a Family Search hint icon, you will see the current number of pending, confirmed, and rejected hints for that person on Family Search. As with the other hint types, you can click on the Family Search hint icon or the hint info box to view a list of pending hints for this person on the Family Search website. But you might find it best to drop down the list of hint descriptions to select a hint from the list. Simply click on the down arrow, scroll through the list, then select a hint. Ancestral Quest will instruct your default browser to show you this hint. Sometimes the page will include a link to view the image, and other times you will only see a transcript of the record. Pending hints will also have an option to convert the hint into a source and attach the source to the record on Family Search. Once a hint has been converted to a source, Ancestral Quest has a means of downloading that source into your personal database so the hints that you find can become part of your own family file. We've now covered the basics of using hints from within Ancestral Quest. Let's turn off the Family Search hints for now. The final component of TreeTips is the links to Ancestry.com. These are only available from Ancestral Quest Pedigree View, so let's activate the Pedigree View, then tell Ancestral Quest that we want to view the Ancestry.com links here in the View menu. With this option activated, Ancestral Quest will start searching through the billions of records of Ancestry.com. As records are found, Ancestral Quest displays 2 links for each name, each with a 5-star rating. The number of trees indicates compiled genealogies in the RootsWeb project. These trees can be viewed free of charge. The number of records is usually a large number. This used to give a more reasonable number a few years ago, but something in Ancestry.com's search function stopped working as it used to, and Ancestry.com is no longer maintaining this particular search. The number shown here isn't important. What is important is that these 2 links still work to help you quickly and easily get a list of records from Ancestry.com. If you click on a Trees link, Ancestral Quest will perform a new search for the selected person on the RootsWeb compiled genealogies, where you can examine the efforts of other researchers for free. If you click on the Records link, Ancestral Quest will perform a general search throughout Ancestry.com's vast records for the selected person. Let's show you how this works. I'll click on this tree link for Sarah Ann Nebeker. Ancestral Quest instructs your default browser to show you a list of trees submitted to the RootsWeb World Connect project. Viewing these trees is free. Now let's click on the link for records for Sarah Ann Nebeker. Ancestral Quest instructs your default browser to do a general search on Ancestry.com for the name of your ancestor and show you a list of possible matches. Once on this screen, if you want, you can edit the search criteria to see if you can improve the quality of matches for your selected person. Ancestral Quest will have provided the name of your ancestor to Ancestry.com search engine to get you started. Okay, we've covered the basics of using TreeTips. Now let's cover some additional important details. First, let me turn off the Ancestry.com links. Be aware that Family Search will only provide hints for deceased persons. However, you can request hints for living persons as well as deceased persons for the other 3 services. To adjust these options, go to Ancestral Quest Tools menu, then to Preferences, then go to the Miscellaneous tab. You can adjust the setting for Ancestry.com with this checkbox. For both MyHeritage and Find My Past, you can use this checkbox to allow hints for living persons. If you enter the age of 0, then you will get hints for all living people. If you select an age greater than 0, then you will only get hints for living people over this age or for people with no birth date. This option was created so parents and grandparents can skip getting hints on their children and grandchildren and other close living relatives when they feel that they need no help in gathering pertinent facts about these close relatives. MyHeritage has one extra option. If you have uploaded 1 or more trees to MyHeritage, you will want to enter the email address here that was used for your MyHeritage account. Without this email address, MyHeritage might show you your own records as hints. With this address entered, MyHeritage will know to skip your own records when finding hints for you. Let me enter my email address here, then save this preference. Now let's explore some of the special considerations for getting the most out of the free hints from Family Search. First, let me show you how to link your records to Family Search records so that you can get the Family Search hints. I'll only skim the surface in this video. If you need additional help, please visit the tutorials page on our website and view one of the more in-depth tutorials on how to link and upload your records to Family Search. Let me show you how to link a selected individual to Family Search by using Catherine as an example. I'll click the gray tree icon to start the matching process. Sometimes you'll have a single entry and sometimes you'll have a long list of possible matches. You'll review the details in the list to see if any are likely matches. For those records that seem like a possible match, click anywhere on the line to have Ancestral Quest show you more details below. With the additional details shown, compare the information from your file on the left with the information from Family Search on the right. Pay special attention to the relatives to make sure these records have the same parents and spouses. If you are comfortable that you have found a matching record, then mark the record as the same. You'll notice the check mark. Then link the record. If you cannot find your record on Family Search, then you can add your record to Family Search, and Family Search will start looking for hints for this new record. In this case, I have found the record, so let's mark it and complete the link and do a link only. Now let me show you how to link families. First, you must have at least one member of the family already linked. Then click on the blue icon for a linked family member. I'll use Sarah Ann as my example. When the review screen is shown, choose to work with either parents and siblings or spouses and children. Let me select the parents and siblings. Then you'll want to expand the family by clicking the expander button to see all of the family members. This may take a few seconds as Ancestral Quest reads several records over the internet. Notice that in this case, the father, John, is already linked. However, the mother and several children are not. Let me click on the options box by the mother to tell Ancestral Quest to link the mother's record. Now that both parents are identified, you have options to handle the children. Let me click the Mark All button to tell Ancestral Quest to link the other siblings in this family. Now I can click the Process button to process my selections. Ancestral Quest gives a summary of the actions you have selected. If everything looks good, click the Commit button. Depending on whether you have done this before and selected certain preferences, you may or may not be asked whether you want to manually sync each individual or just link the records. For this exercise, I will choose Link Only and Process All. That's how easy it is to link family members. Oh, and while you're linking up lists of parents, siblings, etc., if you have records in your file that are not on Family Search, you will have the option of uploading those family members to Family Search at that time. Lastly, let me show you how to link or upload larger groups of records. Go to Ancestral Quest's Family Search menu, then select Link or Upload Groups. You can either choose to match all the records in your file or select a smaller group, like all of your paternal line or descendants of your third great-grandfather or whatever. Once you select a group, click on the Start Matching button and allow Ancestral Quest to perform a match on each member of the selected group. At the end of the matching process, Ancestral Quest will place records into one of these groups, and you can use the View buttons to view who are in each groups. From the two top groups, you can quickly link the records of the groups with Family Search. From this group, you can upload records that are in your file but are not already in Family Search. For more help in using this group feature, use the Help buttons or watch our tutorials on how to use this feature in more depth. Realize that Family Search hints can be found in 3 separate places. Let me turn on the Family Search hinting now. When you hover your mouse over a hint icon, you will see fairly recent hints, but you may not be seeing older hints. Remember I told you that you could convert a hint to a source? Many records that had been hints in the past have already been converted to sources and no longer show as hints. To see these older hints, you need to look into the sources for Family Search records. To do this, click on a blue tree icon to bring up the review screen. Take a look at the Sources button. Behind the word sources, you'll see two numbers. The number on the left tells you how many sources are in your database. The number on the right tells you how many sources are in Family Search for this person. If Family Search has some sources, some of them may have previously been hints. Just click on the Sources button to examine the list of sources. If you find a source that is of an original record that you would like to see, click on the title of the source to expand the source information. Then click on the URL to see the original page of the record. This will show you the original source page in your default browser. In this case, I can click on this link to view the image. Between the active hints and the individual sources that I've just shown you, you will find most of the hints available to you through Family Search. There is one more place you could check. It is my experience that a lot of users of Family Search are unaware that you can attach sources to couples. Mostly they attach sources to individuals, even when the source is about the couple. In the rare chance that another relative attached a source to the couple, click the Spouses and Children button, then expand the family. You'll notice that for each couple there is a sources link. If you'll click on that link, if there are any sources, you will see them here. Again, you could expand the source, and if you wanted, you could look at the source image. If you want to add any source to your personal file, click on this options box or click Add to Local. Select a fact or record to attach it to in your database and click on Add Source. Let me point out just one more example with Family Search hinting. Notice that even though I have John Nebeker linked to Family Search, he shows no hints. Remember that hints can be found not only through the hint icon, but through sources. Let's click on the blue tree icon for John. Notice that he has 29 sources on Family Search. When I open the list of sources, sure enough, there are several links to original documents, including several census records that can be reviewed. If you are looking for original records, keep in mind that Family Search has more records available than what are shown by the hint icons. Now that we've covered the nuts and bolts, let me show you an example of how easy it is to build your family tree using Ancestral Quest and the TreeTips technology. Let me create a brand new database. I'll close this one and then create a new one. For privacy reasons, I won't enter my own personal information or that of my parents, but let me start with a grandparent. So I will add my grandfather, Ralph Findlay, who I don't remember exactly when he was born, but I think it was about 1897-ish. I believe it was in Bloomington, Idaho. And he died, I believe, the year I was married, which was 1979. In Salt Lake, Utah. So that's what I know of him. Let me adjust which hints I want to be working with. I've not yet hooked up to Family Search, but let me turn on my heritage and find my past for now. Let's see, my grandmother, her name was Lillian Farner, and again, I'm not sure of her birth, but I think it was about 1900. I believe in Garden City, Utah. And she died, I believe, a couple of years before he did. Also in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I'm not sure when or where they were married, so we'll just let this go. Hey, I'm getting some hints just on typing in that much information. I've got both Find My Past hints for Grandma and Grandpa, and I've got My Heritage hints for my grandfather. Let me try first the My Heritage hints. Let me see what we've got here. We got one pending match plus compiled genealogies. Let me click on that and see what we're dealing with. My Heritage is showing me a Social Security death index with more exact information. Let me move this over a bit and then transcribe that information into the record here. So let me edit. And so we've got an exact birthday now from the Social Security Death Index of 23 August 1987 and a month, December of 79 in Salt Lake City. Okay, so we've learned something. what else can we grab? Let's try here with Find My Past. They've got 8 pending records. Let's see if any of those are interesting. I've got a marriage record here in 1919. Let's take a harder look at it. Okay, I can either take information from the transcription of the record here, or I prefer to look at the original image, so let me take a look. And then I'm going to zoom in so I can see it easily. Let's scroll over a bit and see if we can find them. Here we are down at the bottom, the record of Ralph Findlay and Lillian Farner. That would be my grandparents. And it looks like they were married on the 22nd of January. So let me transcribe that over here. Let me move this over so I make sure I don't cover it with this. Let's go to the marriage. And this says they were married on the 22nd of January 1919. And where? It's dittoing from above, and that's Paris, Idaho. I'm noticing that now I have some additional information on the marriage, that my heritage is now picking up some hints on my grandmother as well as my grandfather. And in fact, he's got a different number of pending matches. It went from 1 to 4. So I'm getting more hints that I could look at. But because I don't want to take too long in this tutorial, rather than show you more of the incoming hints from my heritage and Find My Past, let's see what we can find in the way of family search hints. So let me link my grandfather with family search. I'll click the gray tree icon. It looks like one high confidence match. Let's verify that this looks good. The birth information and death information matches what we just pulled off of a couple of other records and out of my memory. And so I'm going to say that's a good match, and we're going to link it. Now that he's linked to family search, let's turn on the family search hints. And we have hints for him. Let's take a look at what hints are available from family search. I'm looking, if at all possible, for a census that will take me back a generation. So do we have a 1910 census? Not seeing a 1910 census in this list. Let's see if there's some in the sources. So I'll go to review the person. I'll open the list of sources. The reason I want a 1910 census is I'm hoping it'll show him as a child and therefore show his parents. There we are. The 1910 census is available in the sources. So let me expand the source, click on the link. Once the web page finishes loading, let me go see if I can find an image. There's an image. I'm going to take a good look at that census. Okay, that is the Bloomington, Idaho census. So if Ralph is on there, it's got to be him, and no other Ralph Findlay would be in that city. Let me zoom in a little bit. Here's a family with Alma Findlay, Sarah Ann Nebaker, and as I look down, there's Ralph. So there's my grandfather as a 12-year-old child. And so I can now transcribe information from what I'm seeing here into Ancestral Quest. I'm going to pause the tutorial for a second while I do that, and I'll bring you back when I've got that typed in. First, I'm going to close the list of sources and this review screen, and I'm ready to now start adding the father and mother here in Ancestral Quest right off this census record. Okay, I've finished transcribing the family members off that census record. That particular census has now taken me back the parents of my grandfather and his brothers and sisters, so I'm back another generation. And as you can see, more hints are pouring in. Notice too that each of the hinting services that I used here suggested several other records that I could review and compiled research from others that I could look through. I, for purposes of this tutorial, only wanted to scratch the surface. As you take your time to review the records and trees that TreeTips puts at your fingertips, you will find a wealth of information. We don't claim that all the possible genealogy records in the world will present themselves to you through these hinting services. Sometimes you'll have to dig deeper through other sources. But TreeTips, combined with what you already know about your family and what you can find by asking questions of your living relatives, should be able to get most users well along their way. Thank you for watching this video. If you know of others who would benefit from the research assistance provided by TreeTips, please share this video with them.